Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am back doing another video. Another one finally. Janelle's back from Toronto. Yay! Insert cheering noises here. And today we have a very fun and probably infuriating video where Janelle is going to be reading me 1-star comments from books that I love. So I sent Janelle a list of 10 books that I grew up with loving or are my current favorites, sort of differing between those two. And we're just gonna see what the people have to say. And I have some very strong opinions and I know others do as well. So this should be interesting. So let's get into it. So the books that I sent Janelle to choose between are The Unbecoming of Dyer. I need to do like a 1-sentence preface on these. That was one of my favorite books growing up and now I'm rereading it. So I have a better like viewpoint of what it's like now. And I still love it. It's definitely like very cliche heavy, but the concept is just so cool. So it's still on the list. City of Bones, because if you've watched any of my videos where I talk about my favorite books, or even just not that, it just sort of comes up all the time. The Shadowhunter universe has just been my favorite since day one, so don't bully me. Divergent. It was in the world of the dystopians, that was like the main one that I was obsessed with. Wake, which is part of the Water Song series, which I don't think you can see. No, definitely not. There's 4 books. It's by Amanda Hocking. That one is lesser known, but it's about sirens. I love it. I highly recommend it. The Naturals, which is by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and is about like an FBI like group of teenagers solving crimes. The 1000th Floor is a futuristic dystopian, and it's about a building that has 1,000 floors, obviously. And the higher up that you are in the building is like how rich you are. So that is a very interesting trilogy. I highly recommend that one as well. Caraval, popular on Book Talk. I don't even know how to describe what Caraval is about. A magical game that goes on every year. A mystery, I don't know, scavenger hunt type thing. You can just look it up. Now, this is where I deserve to be bullied. Verity is on this list for a couple reasons. It is one of the better books I've read in recent years, and I was trying to come up with things I've read recently, and Book Talk books and non-Book Talk books and that sort of thing. And it is the only Colleen Hoover book I've ever read. And it would be the only one I was planning on reading, except she's putting out a new thriller soon, and I probably will end up reading that one. Verity is very popular with people that even hate all of Colleen Hoover's other books. People still really like Verity, so let's just say there's something like different about it, please. I don't like Colleen Hoover, don't come for me. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I read it in like a 48-hour period. I love that book. And The Inheritance Games, also by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Which again, another Book Talk book. So those are the books that we are choosing between today, and I'm gonna try to guess, some of the time I'm gonna try to guess which reviews are for which book, so.
This book was awful. Absolute dog water. All the characters were walking cliches. Paper boxes are deeper than all of them combined.
Okay, is it The Naturals?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh my gosh. That's so sad. I'm sad that I guessed that. I can sort of see that only because there is a lot of like cliches in it, I feel like. It like specifically a couple of characters are like, you know, very like dark and broody, like that sort of thing. Oh, I'm so sad that I guessed that. Yeah, I mean, like, I disagree. But it is like a young adult book, and I feel like a lot of times people have different expectations for young adult books because, I don't know, like growing up I didn't care as much about character development as I did about like plot lines. So I feel like for a young adult book, it's fine. It's my opinion.
I'm annoyed I spent time reading this. Many other people have articulated its faults quite well, so I'm not going to bother with much. My number one beef is the obnoxiously repetitive inner monologue. She wishes she was more selfless. I get it. Jeez, move on. There are 0 surprises. Teenage heroine is super awkward and puny and self-conscious, but nonetheless becomes the most bravest girl ever in, 2 weeks. Oh, and she falls in super awkward teenage love. How compelling. I can see what young teens get out of this book, but not why it seems to have crossover appeal.
Okay, I totally feel like it's Divergent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was trying to think. At first I thought Mara Dyer. The main thing for that one is because they're talking about inner monologue. I didn't think so as much, because I feel like if a book is first person, a lot of it's inner monologue. Like that's sort of hard to not have inner monologue if a book is like in the first person. But anyways, also her wanting to be more selfless. I thought of like Abnegation, which is like where she came from, right? And she wanted to be selfless, and then it's like, and then she becomes so brave in 2 weeks. And I was like, what? And that's, oh, okay, so like Dauntless. Yeah, that's sort of every YA book ever. I don't know, like this, I was talking to Janelle about this earlier. I hate when people are like, oh yeah, I hate it because it's like everything that I read. And it's like, yeah, okay, if you want something, if you can't appreciate something because it's not different, then fine. But appreciate it for still being something that is similar to stuff that you like. I don't get that. It's like being like, oh, I really like that shirt because it's so similar to things that I own, but that makes it awful. It's like, but if it's similar to the things that you... Anyways, I could go on forever about that.
So stupid. I can't believe I managed to get through the whole thing. Mind you, I did skip past some paragraphs of redacted POV. She was so annoying, it was making my brain bleed. I thought the premise of the story sounded interesting, but the writing was just horrible. I'm really disappointed. I really like author's blank series. Oh well, I'm going to delete title of book from my e-reader and hopefully never think about it again.
That one's 1000th Floor.
No.
Okay, or no, sorry, oh no, it's gonna look like, I guess, no, that wasn't even the one that I meant. I was stuck between 1000th Floor and Water Song, but I think it's the Water Song, it's the Wake book, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I swear to God that's what I knew, because I bet you anything, I really liked Amanda Hawking's Trial, is it Trylle series?
No, it's The Hollows.
Interesting, I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And it said I did skip past some paragraphs of Harper's
point of view.
Yeah.
I knew it would have been. So what I was thinking of is the 1000th Floor has every chapter is a different person's perspective. Well, like out of like 5 or 6 people, but the Water Song trilogy is Harper and her sister Gemma, and it goes back and forth between the two. And I mean, Gemma's like, Harper is like almost like the, I don't want to spoil it for anybody that wants to read it, but Harper is very much like an outsider's perspective of what's going on. So Harper is more like the concerned sister, whereas like Gemma's actually the main character. So Harper's perspective is more boring. I do actually get that. Why can't I find this? Amanda Hawking. Oh, because H comes after G. Whoo! Wow. Oh my God, it's literally right here. Okay, yeah, this is one I thought. This is like a really popular... I haven't read it. Amanda Hawking, what is it? Yeah, I don't know. It's Trylle. I don't know how to pronounce it. Like Trial something. Anyways, this is like a 3-book-in-1 anthology. I haven't started it. I might like it. I really do like Amanda Hawking's Water Song trilogy, as I said. But this one's about like changelings, and so I don't know if that's my cup of tea, but we'll see. Wow, I've been doing good at guessing so far.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that's the first one I meant to guess. I swear to God, I'm so sad that I said the other one. That's the one that I meant. Because I can't think of really anything else that Catherine McGee wrote, who wrote The 1000th Floor, so.
Pure and utter crap. I wish there were ways to give negative stars. I certainly want the time from my life back. I would compare its writing quality to a fanzine. Except that comparison wouldn't be fair to fanzines. But I swear to God it took every single bad fanfic writing cliche and published them. What were her publishers thinking? Where was her editor? It was horrible. I would dearly love for a fanfiction author to make good and become a published writer, but I'd prefer one with talent. Thanks.
Is that one Mara Dyer?
No.
Oh shoot, okay. Oh my God, whoa. Okay, whew. What else was I thinking for that one? I was thinking A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but no. I'm like trying to not look at my list. Is it The City of Bones?
Yeah.
Oh no! Wow. Okay, listen. I would be so much more angry at that if I hadn't just reread The City of Bones like a year and a half ago. To the point that I like get it a little bit. That's something about having grown up with the Shadowhunter universe is Cassandra Clare's writing. Like, I feel like she has to still call them young adult books because she's called the rest of the young adult books. But now they're so not. And they're like Like, things happen in them that scare me. Like, and the writing is very, like, extreme and extravagant now. But because she hadn't written a whole lot of books before The City of Bones, her writing style was sort of just beginning. And the first book is very young adult. I sort of understand from that perspective. That is why I actually want to reread The City of Bones and The Infernal Devices, because I don't really remember them, it was so long ago. But I'm not entirely surprised to hear that. But there's still cool, like, world building.
This is just a modern take on the white girl is very special but no one knows why and has to choose between two virtually identical white boys who are both in love with her for some reason. Whatever will she do? Also, I don't care about billionaires, so can someone give me 5 reasons as to why I read this?
The Inheritance Games, 1000%. I knew when you said a white girl, nobody knows why she's special. I was like, that's sort of, and then you're like, she has to choose between two. Like, you know, I'm like, oh yeah, because if you go watch my review of the Inheritance Games, that was something I did not like about it, was the love triangle in it. It felt so unnecessary. And it's also just like, it's so, not to say that it's like overdone. I honestly feel like love triangles are fine. They're always juicy. But it was more a matter of, and like every time she would be like, oh my god, he's looking at me. Is he like thinking about me? Is he like thinking about kissing me? Like, no, he's not. Like, which, yes, of course he was, because it's a young adult book. But like that sort of thing. And she would, like, those things were actually written in the book. It'd be like, oh my gosh, he's looking to talk to his brother. Is he jealous? It was like, no. Oh my gosh, which of course, yes, but yeah. So, I did not like that about the Inheritance Games. Otherwise, I love the Inheritance Games. So, I knew immediately. I was like, I know what this is about.
I thought it could be like a trick question because there's so many. Like, white girl chooses between two boys.
When you said a white girl, we don't know why she's special. Again, I thought of Mara Dyer, which is 1000% just because I'm reading it right now. But Mara Dyer is going through some crap in that one. So then I was like, that could be it. But yeah, no. Oh my gosh, that was like kind of a funny one. I sort of agree with that one.
I've just finished title of book and wish it were possible to open up my skull, take out my brain, and dip it in disinfectant. It's such horrible, nasty trash that I feel a bit dirty for spending 99p, I don't know what that is, of my hard-earned money on something
type
so
of currency.
Unpleasant.
Yeah, oh my god.
I have never heard of author before, and on the strength of this, I've not missed much, and I won't be giving them a second try. I read a lot of mystery/suspense and consider title of book to be third-rate and predictable suspense with a lot of gratuitous and unpleasant sex thrown in it to spice it up. I'm still feeling icky about the bite marks on the bed frame and wondering how somebody can do that and not knock their teeth out.
It's Verity.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say. I have so many thoughts. I found part of the book predictable because, like, anyways, a part of it was very predictable because it was, like, supposed to be predictable in a way. Like, we were given very big hints about certain things. If you're, like, looking for them, then it's like, okay, that's kind of obvious. But even then, before I got to the very end of the book, I was still enjoying it because it was still, like, creepy and entertaining. The sex part, a bajillion% agree. That was very uncomfortable. Everybody I know that has read it has agreed it was uncomfortable, except for one person who shall remain nameless. But they know who they are. I 1000% agree. The bite marks on the bed is a whole other thing. Yeah, I agree. But I don't think it's like completely, like, it's not, I don't know how you could have guessed, straight up. If you guessed that, I applaud you. That's about all I have to say on the matter.
Record scratch. Freeze frame. Yup, that's me. Main character's name. Main character of the YA hit. Book title. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. If every single thing that happened in this whole book was anything to go by, it was through a combination of pointless lying, constant embarrassment, obsession with some guy, a big act of caring about a younger sister despite very little indication of that being true, unrelenting drama about a dumb wedding, repetitive interactions, weird descriptions, gender-based generalizations, and insanely personal info dumps about emotional happenings from the past.
Caravel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because the book is between two sisters, and like, yeah, I sort of agree. Except, okay, wait, can you read part of that back? The stuff, what was it about the little sister? What did it say? Like some sort of, something about the sister.
A big act of caring about a younger sister despite very little indication of that being true.
Okay, I disagree. This is not a spoiler, it's on the back of the book. The whole reason that there's Scarlet and Tella. Tella's the younger sister. Tella gets, like, basically kidnapped, and the whole point of the Caravel game that year is to try to get Tella back. And so the entire book is just Scarlet trying to get to her sister and, like, find her sister. So, like, questions.
Some people just be mad.
Yeah, I sort of don't agree with any of that. Like, I keep even trying to think back to what it said because it made no sense so much. Yeah. Anyways.
Fair enough.
That's tea.
Alright, no more thrillers, especially YA ones for me. Totally implausible, awful dialogue, teenagers written by an adult who has no idea how teenagers actually act or speak. Plus, it contained twice my most despised thing in books, when the criminal confesses all of the details of their crimes along with their motives to the main character with practically zero probing. This does not happen in real life. The majority of killers do not even make confessions to police unless they've been interrogated for hours. No one would say to a teenage girl when confronted, "Yup, you got me. Here's exactly why and how I did it." So stupid. I never write reviews, but I hated this so much I just had to get it out of my system.
A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, a bajillion %. Yeah, I sort of agree. Like, anyways. As I was reading it, it didn't come across to me as super, like, sudden information dump. It didn't come across, like, probably, like, maybe now that I know that, if I went back and, like, read that part again, I'd be like, yeah, sort of. But, like, it is a young adult book, and the person doing the interrogating, as you said, is a teenager, so they're not going to do a whole lot of probing because they're not, like, a detective. Like, they're not gonna know to push super far, and it actually wouldn't be realistic if they did. And you can't have it both ways. So that's my take on that one. My hot take on that one. I also feel like the teenagers in that were written fairly accurately. That's my own, like, personal opinion. But, like, when you started saying that, I thought it was a completely different book. And then, but by the end I was like, oh, well, that's definitely Good Girl's Guide to Murder. But I didn't agree with anyways, whatever. Whatever.
Wow. Title of book is a futuristic gossip girl, which would be a lot more fun if not for the adopted sibling incest, worst case of bury your gays I have ever had the displeasure of seeing, and also eugenic. At around the halfway, I was actually planning to give this a 2-star rating, just based off how addictive it was and how much I personally enjoyed it. But given how much the ending pissed me off, and given that over 6 months, update, almost 4 years, I despise this book more every time I think about it. I'm not at all planning on changing this rating. This book deserves its rating.
Saying that it's a futuristic gossip girl is actually so accurate. It's definitely the 1000th floor. Yeah. It is so Gossip Girl core. That is so accurate. Yeah, I completely agree.
This book was a mess. The characters were unappealing, the plot was nonsensical, and I'm not referring to some of the fantastical elements, and the writing was uneven with some cringeworthy moments. Here's one for you. Quote, "His white t-shirt rose, exposing a sliver of stomach and the elastic of his boxers above the low waistband of his jeans. Button fly, I noticed. Well played." End quote. Well played? How are button fly jeans well played? How dumb.
I want to say Mare Dyer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been guessing Mare Dyer for all of them, but so when you started to say, you said something about, like, nonsensical stuff, there are, like, fantasy aspects in the book, so I was gonna be like, oh, well, that's, and then it literally said, and I'm not talking about the, and I was like, oh, shit. Shoot! Anyways, it's fine. I don't remember if I swear on the channel or not.
I think you should.
I do in real life. I haven't got to that part about the white t-shirt yet, thank God. I hate when they say that in books. I hate Anyways, it makes me so uncomfortable. That is such a cliche thing that is in a lot of books, and I literally dislike it so much. So I understand having a negative, like, point of view about, like, that one line. I don't about the whole book, personally. Yeah, like, is there a lot of cliches? Yes. Is it incredible? Yes. That's about all. That's what all I have to say on the matter, so.
That was all of the ones that you listed, but
Okay.
I have a surprise one because I loved it too much.
Okay, and is it from, it's from one of the 10?
One of.
Okay, but just, okay.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Hold on.
It's concerning.
City of Bones. City of Bones.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think I've seen that one on like a TikTok before where it was like short like one-liners from I have nothing to say on that matter either. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got nothing to say. It's a common trope. And it shouldn't be. And this is coming from somebody with no siblings. So,
Same.
anyways.
I have one more if you
Oh my gosh,
want it.
fun, yeah.
It's not that fun, but from the moment she said holy pepperoni, I realized I was too old to be reading this book.
Oh, yeah, I definitely haven't read that one recently because that would piss me the fuck off. The crap off. My backup to fuck was shit. Ooh, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, that's how much I swear. Is that I was like, oh crap. Anyways, holy pepperoni. Wow, that's so bad. It could be in Dyer. Is it Dyer?
No.
Okay. It would be, one of the characters in Dyer would definitely say that, so that's what I was thinking of. Let me think. It's not A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. It's not The 1000th Floor. It's, oh my god, I hope it's not City of Bones.
You did say.
Okay. Is it A Good Girl's Guide to Murder?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of can see that. I feel like Ravi would say that.
Holy pepperoni.
Her, like, boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
She also has a younger brother. Like, because I don't think she would say that.
Yeah.
But I could see one of the rest of them saying that. I love how you're like, you did say it. As I'm like, it's not this one. It's not that one.
It's like, when do I reveal?
Well, I said it, and I was, like, looking up, and I saw you go. Like, leaned down, and I was like, okay, maybe it was that one. Well, this has been an enlightening experience. But you know what? I wasn't as angry as I thought I would be. Because a lot of the things that people complain about, I'm like, yeah, if I was to pick a negative from that book, it would be that. But there's enough positives about the books otherwise. So now you guys know what some of my favorite books are. I was gonna do a video where it's like top 10 favorite books, but this was like sort of it. Verity wouldn't be on the list, but yeah, interesting. So those are 10 of my favorite books. Some of them. I do feel in pretty much every case that like 1 star is sort of harsh for the explanation they gave. Because it would be like, oh, I really didn't like this quote. And I know like the quote was an example, but then it'll be like, okay, but like 1 star because of like that one thing. There were a couple that were very much like all encompassing. But some of them were just like, I didn't like this one aspect, so 1 star. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to do this again. This was sort of fun, and I did good. Proud of myself. Proud of myself for seeing what people hate about my favorite books. Yeah, and I think that that is everything. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of these books. What your ratings were. Give me all the Goodreads tea, because I want to know. I want to know. And I think that that is all for today. Follow me on Instagram, stories_books. Yeah, book talk, I think it's stories_books. Janelle will do something incredible with it. I also have a Goodreads if you want to see my reviews on Goodreads. I've been adding actual reviews to each book and not just putting stars lately, so go check that out. And I think that that is everything, so I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys! I don't know how you ever could have guessed that. Anyways, it's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.